Hey everyone, and welcome to From Waterloo to the Alamo. I'm your host, Traci Wilson, and today we have Lindsay Buchholz, who is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a model, a TV personality, which of course we'll talk about that shortly, a sports mom, and someone who has spent years navigating the life of being married to a professional athlete. Yeah. And so we're going to kind of talk with Lindsay today, who has had her own career and built her own identity, and talk about all the things you've accomplished so far in our short time here on Earth. But so people probably, I'm sure when you meet people, people probably first recognize your last name because of your husband, Clay Buchholz, right? But you've built an impressive identity and career of your own. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and your backstory?
Okay. Yes. No. Buchholz it's a tough name too, especially here in Texas. Definitely people know Clay. He's a Texas boy. His career is incredible. But we both are from such small towns. So I'm from a very small town in Missouri, Camden, Missouri. Literally population sign 200 people.
Yeah.
Clay's from a very small town in Texas, Lumberton.
Lumberton, where is that?
Lumberton, Texas. It is Southeast Texas. It's outside of Beaumont.
Beaumont, yes, okay.
So very small town. So humble beginnings for both of us. I grew up on a farm, and ever since I was little, I had this big personality. And I knew I wanted to do something in TV, be in front of people. I just really loved to perform and loved to entertain. And so early on, I'd say, in high school, college, I started modeling locally in Kansas City. And then
where did you go to college?
I went to MU.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
MU, which, by the way, because I know you're a baseball mom yourself, last night I went to my first ever UT game, baseball game.
Wow.
And they were playing MU, Mizzou Tigers.
Well, of course you had. Yeah,
so it was so fun. So I got to take my son. So that was fun, even though my alma mater got their butts kicked. But that's okay. Now I feel like I'm raising Longhorns, and I'm like all in the UT culture.
I love it.
So I grew up in a small town and went to Mizzou, but I just always wanted to get out of the constraints of the small town. I love where I'm from. I'm so very blessed. But it was so small, and I just wanted to see the world. I just wanted to go and travel and do. And so early on, I took the first opportunity I had. I modeled in Chicago, then it took me to Miami, and then I was in New York, and then LA. And so ultimately, I ended up getting a show called Deal or No Deal.
Yes, everybody knows that.
That was iconic because it's a game show. It was the first ever of its kind. You had 26 Vanna Whites.
Yeah.
And so
all beautiful,
and
clearly.
That was so fun. So I always joke that, mommy's job, like I carried a briefcase to work too.
Yeah.
Just saying. But that was really because it was prime time. That opened up so many doors for me. One of which is when I met my husband, because of Deal or No Deal, and just the fame and the limelight that kind of brought me to. And so I was on Deal or No Deal early in my 20s, and through that, it was incredible. I also hosted a travel show. I got to do a lot of amazing opportunities there.
So how long did that last? Where did you?
Oh gosh, I hosted that for, I don't know, several seasons, 11, 12 seasons.
Wow.
So
you got
5,
to go
6 years,
lots
all over
of
the world.
places.
Yes, I love traveling, and again, being from a little town, and I hadn't seen the ocean.
So I assume you control your trips. But when you plan your own trips.
I do. And a whole backstory is now I do this whole travel advisor thing. That's my own passion project. But traveling, I love. LA, it was incredible. I had the best years there. Deal or No Deal was a game changer in that I got to do so many amazing opportunities. I met Donald Trump on Deal or No Deal.
Oh, wow.
He came on as the banker, and he would his show, The Apprentice, was on NBC. And so a show as well on NBC, as well as Deal or No Deal. And so that's kind of how I ended up meeting Clay. My husband was playing for the Red Sox, and he ended up playing at the Angels his first year. And
wow.
I went to an event with Mr. Trump, with President Trump, and he introduced me to Clay, the whole Red Sox team.
Oh, wow. So he introduced you.
He introduced us. He did.
Oh my
he
gosh.
did. I got to, I was doing a red carpet interview. It was for a fight. So Donald Trump had owned Affliction. It was way back. This is 20 years ago. And it was like the UFC before UFC was really like, so this was a branch of MMA. And so I wanted to do, the whole thing was hosting. So like red carpets, talking to people, interviewing.
Yeah.
I love that. As you can tell right now, like I love to talk.
Yes.
So I will give you time to like talk.
Yeah.
But no, just that's kind of where everything went. So I met my husband at this event that Donald Trump let me host and interview.
MC it, yeah.
I MC'd it. And the Red Sox were in town playing the Angels, and it was the after party of this event. And Donald Trump said, "Come here, Lindsay, let me introduce you to all of the Red Sox." And so I met them, and he's like, "This is Lindsay. She's on Deal or No Deal. She's single." And so,
Yeah. Well, there you go. You had your pick of the litter, clearly.
Long time ago.
A long time ago. But that's so fun. Well, how do you feel like, I feel like that opportunity, clearly you met your husband, but do you feel like being in that baseball world, did that open up any other opportunities for you, or did it just change your career path?
No, baseball was an extreme blessing in that we got to really experience a lot. The Red Sox were so good to us. My husband spent most of his career with the Red Sox.
Yeah.
And it really became a family. And we started our own foundation where we got to help children and work with families that had children with terminal illness.
Oh, wow.
And we actually ran a home for many years in Boston called Christopher's Haven, who we absolutely love. But it helped to, families would stay there while their children were getting treatments at the local hospitals. And so it really did open up this whole world of just helping and giving back and using the blessings that we had to bless others. And that all stemmed from baseball life, but then just the blessing of being able to have a job that had security and be able to, I could step back from TV and entertainment. And although I loved that so much, that was so much who I was at that time. I think being like a small town country girl and like, I wanted a family so bad. Yeah. I wanted to settle down. I didn't want to always be like selling myself. LA is tough and that world was tough. And I think in my heart, I just really wanted like to have a family and be a mom. And so really very early we got married, and then we had our first child, and then Clay got his first contract. And then I became mom and baseball wife. But we got to see a lot of the country, and just it opened up a lot of other doors for us. Yeah. And other avenues.
Well, you wear a lot of hats, right? You've worn a lot. Like I said, when I introduced you, you were an entrepreneur, philanthropist, but you've even mentioned the philanthropy part, right? You have so many organizations that are near and dear to y'all's hearts that you've started. Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes. I feel like of all the hats, and by the way, you make me sound way cooler than I am. Like to hear you say that,
you are cool.
Oh, this is so cool.
You are
so amazing.
Very cool.
Like I love it. But I would say of all the roles or hats, I am most proud of really the philanthropy, the just giving back and showing my children, like this is what we're here for. Right. Like we're here to help others, serve others. And so right now for us, and we've been really involved since Clay retired a few years ago. We got involved with John Walsh with his charity foundation, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Actually, we had a big benefit last month, and your sister, she was there, and it was incredible. And I'm so thankful for your support, for you guys supporting us. But that is to help children who have been, it's heavy, but trafficked, missing children. It's helped to protect them from abuse. But John Walsh, what he's gone through, has literally created this legacy to help so many children. And we strongly believe in it. We love him. We believe in what he's doing, and we see a difference. We see the impact that it's helping so many people, so many families that are in this tragedy, but that, that people like NetMec are there to 24/7. They're there and they're looking for missing children. They're there if somebody makes a call about, a child that's being abused or, it's phenomenal. So we've really dove into that and made that something that
is a big passion of y'all.
Huge passion. And like I said, in Boston, we were very involved. The Red Sox are so, they're so giving. They do so much in the community, and they do a lot with children with terminal illness. And so we really get involved with that, and that's really what started our whole journey with philanthropy. But
that's amazing. Well, and it's wild to think, because I remember when I was a little girl and America's Most Wanted first came out, right?
Right.
Pretty sure everyone thought I was on a leash at Disney World, like one of those body leashes, because my mom was terrified because it was like that first, hey, if you have any information about this, you call this hotline.
Right.
And I think it really changed the way people looked for missing children, right?
Yes.
And then that trickled to Amber Alerts. And,
Yes.
now we have the text notifications.
Yes.
I mean, he really did start a huge wave.
He did.
And it's wild. I mean, now in bathrooms, you see if you're being trafficked, these are the things you need to do.
I think it just also opens your eyes. Like, you don't want to think that it's happening in your backyard. I mean, we live in this beautiful place in Austin, and I think, if anything, it's really opened my eyes that it doesn't matter if you live in this incredible community and you live behind the gates. Like, this is happening everywhere around us, and there's just so many predators and ways, especially with online, for people to reach children. Yeah. And so, we need to protect them.
We do. What are some of your hard rules when it comes to that technology? Because this is a question, and we'll probably bounce back and forth through questions through this podcast. But I feel like you're so heavily involved in that area of how do we protect our kids? Because it's through everything. You think your kid's downloading a simple game about surfing, right? Like, there's the little character surfing, but then you get these a player wants to challenge you, or these sort of things. What do you do with your kids? Because you have kids of that range. You have one that's graduating, right? Or in
I
high
have one
school?
that's 15, that's freshman, all the way down to third grade, that's 9. I would say these are the conversations we certainly have to have as parents. And my kids would say that I'm like a helicopter mom, but a lot of that is because of the work I do with NetMec and John Walsh. Like, I've seen too much, and I want to protect them. And I think you have to be very involved. You have to look at their phones. I don't care if my daughter's a freshman, and at night we take her phone, we check it. That's just being a good parent. It's not because I tell them it's because I love you so much. It's not, I don't want to invade your privacy, but that's just being a good parent. And there's just so many things. Snapchat right now, I mean, it's out of control. The things that get sent to her phone, and I'm just appalled. I'm like, what? And the parents that don't look at the kids' phones and they're doing these things or sending these images. I think kids, again, this stuff, once it's out there, they think it's out there. And they're like, oh, it's going to delete. But it's really out there. Anybody can see it. And, kids can get it, but also, predators can get it and see it. And then you've got images all over the internet. And the good thing is, John Walsh has a Take It Down Act. And so they do, they can take down images, and they're, again, very involved. If they see an image flagged, they can go in and take it down.
Have y'all thought about getting, is that the Take It Down? I mean, because getting involved with these Snapchat, and I feel like it's so important that they are on top of it when there's things that are being sent and flagged. I was just curious, what is the Take It Down Act?
Well, John Walsh, they started that because there was a young girl. Actually, it started here in Texas. She had an image. It wasn't even something that she posted, but somebody took an image of her from a social media source and then made her nude, and it went viral.
Oh, wow.
And so this young girl, we actually met her last year in Washington, D.C. for the Hope Gala, which John Walsh and NetMec put on. But she started it, and really it was, she had went to Congress, and she said, hey, this wasn't me. This young girl, incredibly strong young lady, but went to the proper channels, went to the school, but then they went beyond that and said, hey, these very, I don't know what's the word, but compromising images of this young girl, of a young, girl in school, were out there. And they then went to Congress, and like I said, they fought
and they
to get these images taken down. And so now we have that. which I don't want my kids to think that's a backup option. I'm just like, make good choices. You
Yeah.
know, don't send pictures of yourself.
It's educating them too.
Other people can see it that you don't want to see it. And then there's, you can be bullied. And what's sad, obviously, is that some people then use that to like blackmail kids. So it's like, hey, if you don't want your picture sent to everyone around school, you need to send me money or Venmo me. I mean, it's really wild. And that a lot of people have taken their lives. A lot of kids have committed suicide. It's just horrible. Social media it's like a blessing and a curse. I mean, I love it because it's a great way to communicate with people, throughout the country. I love going on to see what people have posted and pictures and things, but there's a whole ugly world, other side of it. And my husband, we really don't want our kids to have social media, and we do monitor it pretty.
Which I think that's the right thing to do. Because, I mean, when we were kids, bullying was at the playground, and then it was done, right?
Yeah.
Like, now, this follows you home. I mean,
like Mean Girl stuff,
Mean
right?
Girls, yeah, like texting and
I can't imagine at, middle school and high school, like, growing up, and then just with Mean Girl stuff. I mean, you were athletic and pretty girl, and, like, girls were mean, middle school and high school.
So mean.
I can't imagine if they had this technology.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I would do, honestly, because it's literally anybody can go on and say what they want about you. And I experienced that a lot even with my husband's career. I couldn't believe that people that didn't even know him would just respond in the most ugly things about a game, or maybe he had a bad game, and people would go on and write the most hateful, horrible things. Because my children could see.
Yeah.
So
how did you manage that? I feel like being in the spotlight, your husband being in the spotlight and who he was, how did you protect yourself, right? I mean, I feel like you had to like really put up some boundaries.
Hello, my name is Macias Bragança, General Sales Manager at Mack Haik Ford Lincoln, your #1 Ford dealer in Central Texas. We are here for all your automotive needs, Ford, Lincoln, pre-owns, all year makes and model. If we don't have it, we'll find it. You won't find anybody that will work as hard as I will to earn your business. Thank you for making us #1 in Austin, Texas.
Hey, I'm Brandon Sparks with Nautilus Lending, based right here in Central Texas. We're a full-service mortgage operation and brokerage, serving Greater Texas as well as Florida and Tennessee. One of the greatest things about our shop is our ability to facilitate creative financing. What that means is that anything legally possible, we can get it funded. You want to find out more? Reach out to us, www.nautiluslending.com. That's www.nautiluslending.com.
I'm not the best at putting up boundaries. I mean, I'm trying to be as I get older now. I'm like, okay. And I tell my kids that, but just who I am by nature, I am like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm pretty just open and honest and transparent. But it was hard in baseball life. Just there were so many good things about it, and like I love those fans that just genuinely love the game and love to come out and support the team and the players. But it really was hard to protect yourself, because you can't really. I mean, I would just tell my children when something happened, or if someone was speaking unkind about their father, in the stands or out on the street, that's not nice. That's not how God wants us to be. We're to love everyone, and we're not going to act that way. They can do that, but we're going to give them grace. We're not going to be that way.
But so use it as a teaching moment.
I would try to use it as, and I still to this day, but there were moments, I mean, I do remember speaking to a fan that was using some profanity and was literally cussing my husband out, like come on, Buchholz, you suck. And I mean, my daughter's sitting right there, and she's like, they're talking about daddy. And I was like, hey, you're in the family section. Like, this is a father out there. So, but
pipe down. Pretty much.
But it didn't bother Clay. My husband it didn't bother him at all. If anything, it fueled him.
He was like, I'll prove to you.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even hear it out there. So, and I think that's a good lesson too, is just, that's the best way to like quiet your haters, Don't let it bother you.
Yeah.
Like, you do your thing. Use it to fuel you. And that's another lesson that we really show our children and teach our children, that that's the best revenge.
I love that. That's so great. Okay, so he retired, you said a few years ago. And what brought y'all back to Texas, especially specifically Austin?
So Clay's from Texas. I told you that.
Yes.
And I think his goal.
Lumberton.
Lumberton. I know. It's
Oh, it's so
tiny.
cute. What a cute name.
I know. Actually, all of our in-laws are there. My in-laws, his family. We do go back often.
Yes.
It is a really great place. But I wouldn't want to live there. I just love the water. I love nature. I love Austin. Like, honestly, I've been everywhere in Texas, and I think we're in the
Austin
best place.
is so unique. No, it is so
beautiful.
unique.
Especially coming from LA, living there for years. When I first came to Austin, I was like, oh, this is like Malibu.
It
like
is
hill
with the
country,
hills
but
and
now I am missing the ocean. I am missing the beach.
Yes,
Like
yes.
I am a beach
Texas
girl by heart.
beaches are
Yeah.
oof, they're rough.
Right. Okay. But I'm like, it's so beautiful. But I think my husband's goal, ever since he met me, was to get me to move to Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, and he won. I'm here. We've been here since 2013.
And did y'all build your house that you're currently selling right now?
My gosh, that's a whole entirely different story. We actually bought it, but then a couple years later, we actually had to tear it down and rebuild because there was some issues, some mold in the original construction. And so, yes, it feels like, I mean, it's like brand new construction now, but we actually lived on Lake Travis when we first moved here in 2013. Clay had just won the World Series, the Red Sox. And we
So he was still playing.
right, and yes, and then he had teammates that lived here, so we came to see friends, and like I had never been to Austin, and my husband was like, "You will love it. It's got water and it's beautiful." And my gosh, the price point at that time.
Oh,
now it's not like
don't
that.
want to talk about
now,
it. Yeah.
Now I'm like, can we just go back to that? Because here I was like leaving LA and like that area, and I was like, wow, you can get a lot in Austin and a big property.
Yeah.
And you can't get that obviously in LA at the beach. So we came in here in 2013. He was still playing, and we had a beautiful home on Lake Travis, but it was so far. It like was down
it was
Bullock
like
Hollow and like down in that area.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple of teammates that lived in Bellagio on Lake Austin, where we are now. And so we were like, we really want to be there. It's closer to everything, bigger properties. I love the school district, love the area. Our friends are there. So once we had the opportunity to buy a home there, we did. And I mean, that's what brought us here to Austin.
Yeah. And so y'all had to tear that home down though.
We did. We took it's
rebuilt.
It's 13,700 square feet.
Big
Again, he
house.
was playing baseball. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is on 3.5 acres on Lake Austin. It's a private beach, and it checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
And we have big families, and we have friends, and we just love a full house. And I had 3 littles. So I was like, this is great. Like, I could just see it. Like, kids running around and family being here. Both of our families could be there at the same time. And we've got next door Kevin Millar, one of our best friends, and like a former teammate and their family, and like all of our friends on the street. It's just incredible. There's actually there were 4 Major League Baseball players on our street.
Wow.
So it just felt very family, it just was the right place. And it was, and it has been. But shortly after we moved there, we were away for baseball, and we found out there were some issues in the sheetrock in our house, and just found some mold, some spots where, like, I guess when they were building, maybe some moisture got in. We don't know, but we ended up doing a whole like
Remodel.
Wow. Remodel. But almost brand new construction.
But you basically got to pick what you wanted, right?
I did, yeah.
So that had to be fun.
Yes. So it's been updated. It's beautiful. But now we're kind of in this season in life where Clay's not playing baseball anymore.
Right.
We want to travel. We want to do our oldest is going to be going off to college in a couple years. I can't even think about that because I will cry. I'm like, I'm going to go with you. She swears she's going to the beach. She's like, I'm going to California or Florida. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going with you.
Yes. And I'm
I'm
there,
like, Clay, you've been promising me a beach house for 20 years. Like, this is happening. We're going.
Wherever it goes.
So we listed it, and he loves golf. He loves golf. He needs to compete. And there's a beautiful new community they're building off 71 in Lake Travis.
Yes.
It's called the Travis Club.
Yep.
So Clay bought in at that as a founder, and he loves it. It's on the golf course. It still has lake, so it kind of, again, checks our boxes.
Yes.
Like, we love lake.
Travis Club is
golf.
great.
It's nature. It's beautiful. It's closer to family. I actually have family in Spicewood. So we decided we're going to go and build there. So we're going to downsize and build there. And that's like our next chapter.
Your
But
next chapter.
I
That's
love
awesome.
where we are now because you can't get better neighbors. Like
Yeah.
our neighbors, like if you want to borrow sugar, if you want to like, oh, watch my kid, or we have just the neighbors are so great because they'll be like, oh, so-and-so's outside riding the bike, without a helmet, or hey, by the way, your kid's over here playing. It's like there's eyes on your children. If people come through the gates that aren't supposed to be there, it's like, hey, do you guys know this person?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
it's
great
so
community.
great. Like I
Yeah.
love it. I feel safe. It's more like a family, which that's the hardest part, I think, about moving.
Yeah,
know?
as you have to kind of reestablish everything.
Right.
And your kids, will they, school district wise, they'll be still in the same, or will they, they'll have to go to, in Travis Country, what are
Yeah.
you zoned for? Like,
Like
Travis Middle?
And they're building that new high school. So
Yes.
like my youngest are still pretty small, so they would go to that new high school, which I like because it's smaller.
It's smaller.
My
I
old-
know. I kept hoping we'd be zoned for it, but because we're off Hamilton Pool.
Oh, okay.
But I think we are not zoned for it. Because
Okay.
we're Bee Cave Middle, and Bee
Okay.
Cave Middle will still go to.
But great schools.
Great
area,
schools, yes. Doesn't mean you can't transfer.
Right.
So, it's
right.
fine.
And I love where we are now, which so Vandergrift is open enrollment.
Yep.
And people move from all over just to be in that district, and now they've made it open enrollment. So we've even kind of said, okay, if we finish our build in the next couple years, then our daughter, she's driving, she can drive to Vandergrift. Lake Travis High School right now is just so big. And again, being from small school, small town, it has been a huge transition.
Oh,
we
yeah.
thought we would try it with our daughter. It didn't work out. Not to say great things about LT. It just didn't work for our daughter. So
Well, and it's hard when she's already have such a great group of friends.
that
where
was
she's
what it
at.
was. Exactly. It's like we had removed her from her tribe, from her people, and I think that was, as far as all the things that we've really gone through as parents, this has been the hardest. Like having a daughter that's in high school, freshman, like
In a new
that's dealing
school.
with all of these issues.
Yeah.
So thankfully we haven't had the bullying,
That's good.
which is, I'm so glad. She's the nicest girl. She has God in her heart. She's like the girl that prays for everyone. They're like, Coco, Coco. But it's just her, who she is. The culture did not fit her, and she was missing her friends.
Yeah.
And I realized how important, really that is, just having her be connected with the people that she's known since she was little.
Little. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. So, of course, your husband's he
Yeah.
played in the MLB, athletic. So what does that look like for your kids in sports? So, like,
gosh.
what do your girls do?
Well, by nature, they are so athletic. And I'm like, I'm athletic too. I thought I was athletic, but then being
you're-
married
yeah, exactly.
to a
You're like,
professional athlete, I'm like,
oh, maybe not.
I'm the least coordinated,
We always laugh because I'll be like, you need to move your feet, and they're playing, like, my oldest is in 3rd grade playing volleyball, and I'm like, move your feet. Why aren't you moving your feet?
my
And then I sit there and I'm like,
Yeah.
Traci, like, I'm sitting here giving her advice on something, like, I didn't play volleyball, so it's like,
Yeah.
who am I to give? Same thing with my son in baseball. I'm like, use your legs. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to swing a bat, probably. So it's
Yeah.
funny when we try to give advice when
Right.
you're like,
Or like
know
if
what
you are used to sports and you're an athlete, like, I mean, even as a mom, I'm like, I hate the way I sound when I'm cheering for him, like all of them. Like I'm
Yes.
yelling, like I'm trying to video them, and then I'm like, all I can hear is my voice, and
Yeah.
I hate it. It makes me cringe. But I'm just like, you get so excited to watch your child do what they love, but then sometimes I have to like draw back. You're like, okay, he's only 7. Like,
Yeah.
strike him out. Or like he got hit by a pitch, and I remember the first time, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, way to wear it. And people are looking at me like, dude, I just can't help. It's just like,
well, and you also
that-
were used to cheering for your husband. So, like, in that environment, I mean, the baseball environment is so, to me, like, wild because you have, like, diehard fans. Like, football, I think everyone loves football, but, like, when it comes to baseball and teams, people have, like, a specific loyalty. It's like soccer. Like, people have these loyalties to Liverpool or Chelsea. Like, it is wild when I see my husband have a loyalty to
A team.
a soccer team
Yeah.
in Europe, and I'm like, we don't live in London. We do not live there. Like, why
Right.
do you love this team? But
Right.
they're obsessed with it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like my brother is obsessed with the Cubs, the Chicago Cubs,
They
and
have
I'm
a
like,
cult following.
why?
Yeah.
But it's like a cult following,
It's-
and I think
it's
it is
iconic.
deep.
I think
It's
you
deep.
have those teams. Certainly in baseball, I would say Cubs is one of them. I would say Red Sox. First
Yeah.
they're the oldest
Yeah.
institutions. I mean, they epitomize like baseball, like America's pastime. So those, I get it, because like I didn't even grow up in Boston, but I am like diehard bleed. Like I love Red Sox. My children were born there. Well, 2 of them. One was Texas. My son is all Texas, but I can see why people the history.
Yeah.
It's really special.
It is special.
In Boston, and I would say definitely Wrigley and Fenway. If you haven't been to those baseball stadiums, I always tell everybody, go. I don't care if you're a baseball fan. Go. The history, I don't know. There's something about it. It's so special. So,
but I'm saying you came from that world of, it's it's year round pretty much.
Right.
So it's just like, you're constantly immersed in it. And so of course it comes out when it comes to kids'
And I would
sports.
say your kids, just by nature, having parents that are, athletic, and certainly having a professional father that played, it has been hard for them just because people expect them to be the best at every sport they do.
Yeah.
And we don't put that pressure on them, but they're like, they expect to be the best.
Yeah.
And we're like, just have fun. Just have fun. We tell them, like, do your best. Do your best. Be coachable. Be respectful, to your coaches, and encourage your teammates. Be a good winner. Be an even better loser. There's so much life lesson in that. My husband is so great about, like, when you lose, that's where you learn the most. And that's going to make you better. And it's hard. As a kid, they're like, I don't want to lose. And they're so upset, and they're so passionate about it. But
and
that's part
something,
of it.
That's a good transition to ask about this world of, this competitive sports parents and our kids in sports. And I feel like it's so hard because, like, my son, he's 7, and if we don't cry every game, it wouldn't be a game if we didn't cry, because he
7.
misses a pitch, or he misses a very easy grounder, or he gets a great play and then he throws to first and he overthrew it a little bit. It's like just welling up, and it's, how do you nurture that to where I don't want him to ever lose that, like, I want to be the best and I want to win, but also how do you make it to where we're not crying every time we miss play?
I think 7, because we just rounded that corner, and I do think 7, they're still babies. Yeah. So it's like, you see that at 7, but I do think they grow out of it. Yeah. I'm seeing that with my son. I also was encouraged because my husband played professionally, and he started at a young age. And I'm so encouraged because my father-in-law coached him, and my father-in-law is very knowledgeable about baseball, but he will tell us, because we'll be talking about our son, and my husband will be like, don't cry over this. And my father-in-law is so great because he's like, you cried when you struck out. You cried if you walked someone.
It's wild how they don't remember that.
Yes. I think it's just part of it, and they care so much. So I think you want that, but also when they're crying all the time, about everything, then you definitely, you need to nip that in the bud. But I think right now at 7, it's very natural for them. Yeah. And they're trying to figure out their emotions. And, like, baseball's a hard sport. There's so many different dynamics and fundamentals that go into it. Yeah. It's very much a mental game. So it's just part of the process.
Did your girls do softball?
You know what? Sadly, I don't have softball players. I had my middle daughter. She gave it a go, and she's actually the most athletic person in our family. My husband will say that. My middle daughter, Landry, she's done everything. So yeah, she did do softball for a couple years, and she's like, okay. And she did select. She's like, I'm ready to do something else. And she did flag football, select. And right now we're in volleyball, like big sis. But I wish I had a softball player, just because I love baseball and softball so much, because I played softball all through school. Did? Okay. I did. I was a pitcher. And it was, I loved it so much, and it was my favorite sport. In fact, when I met Clay, I told you in LA, when I met him, and he's like, oh, I'm a pitcher. I'm like, oh, I was a pitcher too. Like, softball. So he probably was like, not the same thing. Yeah,
we're soulmates. Here we go. You're a softball pitcher.
No, he like teased me and made fun of me because, like, softball is no way in comparison to baseball.
Right. But it's still, it's still a lot of hand-eye coordination. You know what I mean?
I think it's a very tough sport, and I love softball to this day.
Yes,
and
that's
I'm still hoping that my middle one will, maybe in high school, like, she's just that girl that can play any sport and be good at it. Yeah. She definitely has that gene.
That natural
In fact, ability. Clay is good at everything, and he likes to go skiing. And so we go skiing every year as a family, and my kids are exceptional at that. Yeah. I mean, they love to do all the things. So they're just natural athletes, and it's just fun to see them do everything, which I would love for them to encourage, but it does make it very hard in school. It gets to where you have to pick a sport. Yeah. And I would say that I struggle with. Because growing up in the Midwest, in a small town, I got to play everything.
You got to play everything,
And now you see, even at, this age with our boys, it gets to where you can't. I was just talking to our baseball family yesterday, our friends, about it. Like, kids should be able to play. Our boys should be able to do soccer and do football and do baseball. But in Texas, it's like year round.
Yeah, and you have to, like, pick a lane. And I agree with you. I'm so like, I feel very passionate about. Like, I don't think they need to pick a lane until they're
high school.
11, 12,
Yeah, I mean,
13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's Texas sports, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like there's so much pressure to be so good at a young age.
Yeah.
And if they're not excelling the way they should, it's wild to me. Like, my
Right.
husband and I have conversations about this all the time. So our son is very, very naturally athletic, right? Just hand-eye coordination. It was impressive. We just started baseball one year ago, so last spring season. But he's not fast. He's not super fast. He's like probably middle of the pack, right?
Right, but I think that'll come. You
Right?
can do strength
And
training.
he and I are
can
always
improve
like,
on that.
look how fast so, and I'm like, I feel like you can always get better.
Every
you know,
part of the game you can.
Yeah.
And don't compare him. Don't,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I say,
the
never
hard
compare.
thing. I will say, I mean, again, at 7, like, my husband's been really good about not forcing it on him specifically.
That's
with
what I
baseball.
was gonna ask. Like, so he's your only boy, right?
He's my only boy.
And so, how did he progress to, deciding on baseball?
And actually, when he first started playing, like at 7, was playing, I was like telling my husband, I'm like, should I be worried? I don't know if he got the baseball gene from you. Like, I don't know if this is gonna work out, because like the air is like overthrowing first, or like you said, maybe just not knowing, like, oh, he's supposed to run. I'm like yelling, like, run to second, like, you're telling him what to do, but I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna be playing baseball. And my husband's like, he's way too young. Like, it didn't even really until my husband turned 12. And again, it's not like that now, but he just was big on, like, you don't want to burn him out. You don't want to force it on him, or they're not going to want to play. They're not going to want to stick with it. He's also big on, like, what they physically can do, because you see a lot of kids that are having Tommy John in middle school and high school, which is ridiculous. I mean, these kids, it's too much for them.
And Tommy John is something with your elbow, right? Okay.
Yeah, elbow.
Is it like tennis elbow, similar to tennis elbow, or is it like?
Well, it's a really invasive surgery, but they take a tendon. They have to remove a tendon in your arm. But I mean, actually, people like major league guys, they'll do it and they'll actually throw harder. So the whole side thing is that some parents at high school level are going to these surgeons and asking to have their son have this done. But
we are crazy.
That is
we are
not
crazy.
okay.
Yeah.
But just, I love that, again, he's the professional athlete and he's saying, do not force it on him. Like, let it
and
be
don't
fun
worry.
at this age, and it will come. And I think with him, like, he's gained so much knowledge. They'll sit down and watch a baseball game together.
Yeah.
Like my husband and I. And he's like teaching him, like, okay, so see what that shortstop
there's
is
a
doing.
lot.
Do you see this? And like that. And then, it's gradually been more and more where he'll go outside and he'll say, hey, Dad, can you throw wiffle balls to me? Or can you catch me? Or Mom. I love it when he's like, Mom, will you come? And I'm like, yes, here's my time
like,
to shine. My softball skills. Yes. So I'm like, come on, like, pitch to me. And it's so fun. I love that, again, this softball background. I love that I can like play catch with him and catch him when he's pitching, because he wants to be a pitcher. And last year we take our kids every year to Fenway. It's our tradition. They love going. They love baseball. They love Boston. And we went last year, and it was on Father's Day.
Oh, fun.
And it was Yankees Red Sox at Fenway. And my son, who had just turned 8 in March, and this was in June, he had wanted to throw out the first pitch. I mean, of course, what kid wouldn't want it? His dad had thrown it out the year before, and he's like, I'm gonna throw out the first pitch. And I'm like, okay, let me see if I can make that happen. It's like, I like talked to the Red Sox again. They're family. They will always be family. And I said, hey, Jax wants to throw out the first pitch. I'm like, well, it's the Yankees game. I don't know. This is a big deal. And I'm like, okay, well, he's pretty good. He can throw it, and it'd be cool to have Clay catch it. Okay. Day of, they're like, okay, we want Jax to throw out the first pitch. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So they all get in the Red Sox, the team uniforms, they're in the dugout, and then they're like, Jax Buchholz throwing out the first pitch. Clay's behind, he's catching, okay?
Yeah.
I can't even, because I will like cry. This is one of the most memorable moments of my life.
I can't imagine.
It came full circle. And it's funny because before he went out there, Clay just said, hey, don't throw it as hard as you can. Don't throw it to the dirt. Like, Clay's not wanting to chase it, like, just make a good throw. My little boy at 8 years old gets out there. Mind you, everybody's full stand. It's Yankees on the field, Red Sox. And he gets out there, and I mean, from the rubber, they ask him, they say, do you want to throw it like halfway between the pitcher's mound and home? And he said, I want to throw it from the rubber just like my dad. I'm like, and he gets up there, he does his full wind up, throws it, standing ovation. I'm bawling, crying.
Yeah.
Clay's got tears in his eyes. Like, it was amazing. So, it
that's
just
so
it was a full
cool.
circle moment. And I think that, and then just since then, we have just been full baseball mode and
Yeah.
all of it.
That's
All of it.
amazing.
It's
I
been
mean,
so fun.
I feel like
so fun.
you feel like there is a pressure for sure being Clay Buchholz's
I do
son.
think people in general, like, oh,
Just
he's gonna be
expect him to
good.
be good, yeah.
He's gonna be good, but he's now. I mean, he knows. Like his dad is like, you're not me. You've got your own journey, and let's find out what works for you. You know, and so
Right.
he know. You know, right now he's learning what his body can do, what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are, and he's becoming his own person, his own player, and. That's cool to watch. Like he certainly doesn't compare. Like he actually, I think all of his dad's buddies and teammates, he talks more about them than like
Yeah.
his own dad, you know? It's just like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
So
I love that. That's so cool. Is he coach? Like, does he help coach?
Yes.
I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be really hard
Clay
as a
coaches.
former athlete to not be out there to want to help coach. Because you're like, I could probably teach my kid better than
oh,
than
he
you.
definitely can. And
Right?
he'll say that. Like, no offense to all the like, I mean, it's great. All the dads, they mean well. They're so well intentioned, and you know, they probably played in high school, maybe college, but my husband just, it's a different level. Like what he did professionally and everything he's learned and the knowledge of the game and the insight that he has, it's invaluable to these kids.
Yeah.
So we'll say like we are on the Mustangs and my husband does coach and he does help them with all of their pitching and the moms are my friends. They're like,
Yeah.
I love these girls. They're like my best friends, but they are like, we are so glad that we have your husband working with our boys because they're learning the right way. They're learning the fundamentals.
Well, yeah, he's walked in the shoes. So
Right.
he knows.
And he knows like not to overdo with their arms, you know, at this age. Like curveballs, no, we don't need to be doing that yet because that's too much for your arm. And so yeah, I'm really grateful to have Clay
Yeah.
coaching him. And it's so fun to watch. Like
I bet.
I loved watching Clay, but then seeing him coach my son and seeing my son out there, I actually think I enjoy it more.
You would. Well, because you get to watch.
Special.
I mean, this tiny miracle you two created, and you get to watch him grow into whatever he's going to become, right?
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you get to be so hands-on. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Like I said, I can't wait to see him in the big leagues. And my husband's like, whoa, slow
your
down.
roll. Slow your roll. Well, what would be one big piece of advice you would give to sports parents? I mean, I feel like the sports moms sometimes are worse than the dads, but what advice would you get to young athletes? You know, if you have kids that are, you know, athletic, and what advice would you give them?
I would say just enjoy the moment, like really be present, and let them have fun. Let it be fun, and you know the reality of all of these kids going to, you know, making it a professional sport. It's very slim.
So
it can
tiny.
happen. I mean, it can, but it's like at this age,
We have no idea.
no. And it's like we want them to have fun. They're only kids for a short
Yeah.
time. Be their biggest cheerleader. You know, be their biggest cheerleader. Be there. They, you know, fail. You know, be there. That's what our job is, and that's what I've learned the most.
Yeah.
Is like just we're there to like encourage them.
Right.
If they have a bad game, hey, it's okay. You know what? You'll get the next one. You know.
Is there like something you say to your kids before they go into a game? Is there like a, I mean, I know we have like a,
What do you say?
We have like a 3-word thing we say.
Right.
We always say, remember. Of course, we say it's not about winning or losing. We could care less if you
Okay.
win or you lose. I say, I want you to work hard, like basically try your best. I want you to be a good teammate, right? And you have to be coachable every single time,
Yeah.
right?
That's the
so it's like, as long as you tried your best, and then of course,
Right.
have fun.
Yes.
Those are the things we always tell them
Same.
before every game. Have fun. Like,
Right.
you need to have fun, because what's the point of doing it if you're not having fun?
Right. Right. And it'll burn them out, and
It'll
they won't
burn
want to
'em
do
out.
it anymore.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so, but that's
That's
actually
good advice.
That's good
That's what we
advice
say.
too. Yeah. Like, be
Yeah.
in the moment, because there's so many times you're not in the moment. And I've been trying to do that. Every time Kaysen's like, Mom, did you get that? I went, no, I'm watching you. I'm not videoing you. Like, I'm actually watching you.
Yeah.
But that's why we have all these apps, right, to record all their moments. But
Right.
okay, so let's end on this. What do you think one thing younger Lindsay would never believe about your life today?
Oh, wow. That's a good question to really think about that. I don't know. It makes me emotional.
No,
'Cause, like,
well,
I mean, it really does. Like, think about,
you have had such a fruitful career, right? I mean,
Right.
it's been, you've done a lot, right?
It's been a fun ride, you know, like it really is. I'm so blessed. I really have to give glory to God. I know that sounds like, you know, cheesy, but like I would not be where I am if he wasn't with me in every season.
Yeah.
I'm just so incredibly blessed. I mean, I'm so happy. And I think younger me would just be so
Proud.
Yeah. And to think, like, again, coming from such humble beginnings and such country roots, you know, just to see like where I am today. But
Oh, and what y'all have accomplished, right?
my kids, that would be my greatest blessing and greatest joy has been raising them and getting to be their mom. You know, just seeing me as a mom, because, you know, when you're younger and, you know, you're selfish, I wanted to just go and be on TV and do this and LA and all the things, and I got to do that, but that did not feed my soul as much as being a mom.
Yeah.
You know, getting to like, there's every moment of every day, it's a selfless, I'm thinking about these little humans, you know, everything is about them. And I am doing my best. It's hard. It's the hardest job I've ever had, but it's the most rewarding. And so I think I would like, my younger self would be like, wow, good job. Like, you have this beautiful family.
Yeah.
You know, that you always dreamt of.
Your kids sound like really good kids too.
They are. Thank you. I mean, they're kids, you know, they
Yeah.
all have their moments, but it's taught me so much. I've learned so much, and I'm a better person because of them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's awesome. Well, Lindsay, you were so fun to talk to. I mean, you really are a TV personality. I see you back. You should be on the sidelines reporting, really, for
I would
baseball.
love to. I miss it. I can't even tell you. I love people. I love meeting new people and talking about and learning their story, and just it's so much a part of who I am. So let me know if you hear something.
Yeah,
Okay?
right?
All right.
Well, and I know
So
our
good.
next trip, I feel like I need to call you to help
Yes.
plan it.
Oh my gosh, I got you.
I
got
love
you.
that. Do you
love
have
it.
like
Yeah.
a business?
I do.
Okay,
I just
so
started
what's
my
the
own
name
thing.
of your
Well,
business?
It's I'm just a Fora advisor. It's a modern travel company, and I have my own thing that I do for my friends and family, and it's just been like a passion project. And my husband was like, "You're so good at it. Like you should do this as your thing." And so I mean, it's just more fun. It's a hobby because it helps him out, because now I plan all these trips and we go all over. We're going to Italy and Greece in a couple months, and you know, we get all these hookups, and he's like, okay, it's like saving him money. So he's like,
oh,
babe,
this is great.
I love it, but I get to plan and learn and get to go to new places.
Right.
And that's
And
what
you
I love
love
showing
it.
the kids that. I
Yeah,
love it.
and
Love
that's
it.
amazing. Oh, well,
good.
thank you for
Thank
sitting down with
you.
us today.
So
You were
fun.
awesome. I really appreciate it, and
Thank you.
really great words of advice too from someone who's, you know, you've been down that road, and you know, and so I think people
thank you.
really appreciate your insight. And that's all we got. Thanks for
you.
listening.